Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David Allen, or if you like, Super Dave. Thanks for joining us today in our episode. Everybody in the chat, I want to say thanks for joining me today. We are covering number 169 in the classified line, and that is the Cobra and Joe Divers. So this is an interesting one. It is another Mass Device release, part of the Mass Device faction, I guess if you want to call it that, or subgroup of the G.I. Joe classified line. We have some news to cover after this review, and a couple of things going on that I want to cover. So there's not a lot about these divers. There's not a lot of information about the divers. They did appear, obviously, in Sunbow. They were in the Mass Device miniseries, the first miniseries. They were going after the underwater element, and there was the snake worms, the tube worms, whatever you want to call them, were in there as well. There was some generic, like diver type designs that were in the comics from time to time. They weren't like eels, they weren't torpedo, they weren't like hydra vipers, they weren't like characters that were known in the GI Joe or Cobra. They were just Joes or Cobras in those type costumes. Also in the Action Force comics as well, there were generic divers and so on and so forth. During the 25th anniversary, the GI Joe brand and Hasbro visited that concept with a diver from the Mass Device, and it is called from the GI Joe cartoon series, the Cobra Enemy Underwater Trooper, and it says Cobra Diver on there. This is the 25th anniversary figure of the Cobra Diver, and you can see he has that blue element with him there, and it was part of the series that they were doing, where they were doing the Build a Mass Device wave of play sets, and they came with figures and Mass Device elements and little extras in each of those sets. Good morning, Bobby World. Thanks for joining us today. If you watch that episode, they all have the bite down respirator. So I don't know how they were able to communicate with one another underwater. Yeah, it's one of those things you have to suspend your disbelief. It's animation, it's cartoons. It is what it is. There's not much you can do about stuff like that. G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17, good morning. Thanks for joining us in the chat today. So this was the only one that they did. They did not do a yellow diver. Yes, there was torpedoes, there was eels, there was deep six, there was wetsuit for the 4-inch modern line, but they did not do a yellow diver per se. Maybe they should have, but they didn't. I can't wait to buy those Ninja Turtle O-ring figures. Oh yeah, they look really cool. I think that's going to be a fun O-ring, I guess, style of figure for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because I don't know if they've ever been in that style before. So this is the only diver that we got in that Mass Device design prior to the classified design. I love when the figures have the same look as in the cartoon. Too bad we didn't have those as kids. Yeah, it would have been interesting if they had, but I think the problem with the vintage line is they were designing this stuff several years before it came out in the cartoon. So the cartoon didn't know about this stuff. Larry Hama barely knew about it enough to do the file cards and stuff and to add the toy lines and the characters into the comics. He had barely enough time to do that. So trying to do it in the toy line was a lot more difficult. The only character I know that actually worked in favor of was the Baroness, because they showed her in the comic and they showed her in the animation. They're like, hey, we need to make a character of the Baroness, and Ron Rudat was able to design the new Baroness to go along with the GI Joe line. Let's see, Ultimate Ultramensch. Thanks for joining us. Good morning. I was up late at Punk with Toys last night. Oh yeah, I'm sure. His is a long stream. It's like a 3-hour stream. What's up, Super Dave? Good morning, fellas. Happy after Toy Fair weekend. Yep. 610 Yojo Daddy. Thank you very much. It was quite a good weekend, I must say about that. Nice 4-day week. Yep, the Real American Hero line. All the figures are mostly based on the cartoon. Um, yeah, to a certain extent, yes. And the comics. Yep. To a certain extent, yep. Oops. Morning, Joe Bros. Good morning, Sean Jones. Thanks for joining us. So this is our only diver that we ever got from the mass device. And then now we have, of course, the classified divers. And the fact that they're yellow and red on the packaging uh, kind of speaks to something that they were doing in the Sky Striker HasLab when they were going to do the those guys that like bring in the airplanes and stuff like that, those crewmen or whatever, ground crew guys. They were going to be ketchup and mustard, so they copied that aesthetic and they did them as ketchup and mustard. Again, one Joe, one Cobra, or is it much more Sunbow design than that? I'm not sure. Good morning, beautiful people. Yo, Joe. Hey, Lady Virgo. Cool. Thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it. Good morning. Good morning, Super Dave. Joe fans of the chat. Thank you, Crusty Old Crow. Thanks for joining us. Good morning. So then we have the designations, and we have the QR code, and we have the target artwork. So we're going to check the QR codes, the designations, I should say, not the QR codes, to see what they show for these guys. Let's see. Saying hello to everybody in the chat. The Cobra Eels is the best diver of the Ara line, and for the G.I. Joes, it might be a tie with Torpedo and Wetsuit. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment on that, I would say. So let's see. The Joe diver has the, let's see, environmental specialist water. He's got the arrow weapons. He's got the underwater environment, and he's got the diver. So those are your designations for the Joe figure. And then the Cobra figure has the environmental specialist water, the arrow weapons, the diver, and the water specialist too. They're just in different orders on there. So they both have the same designations. They're just in another order for their strengths, and one over the other. So then we have the artwork, the Shooting the Galaxy artwork there with the divers, and you can see the tube worms back there, and a lot of really cool stuff. And he's 169 in the classified line. We've gotten ourselves from 00 Snake Eyes all the way up to 169 now. And then we're 22 retro package design figures, and 5 legacy and 60th anniversary figures. Now, I always thought, because this guy was red, my friends disagree with me. They think it's another diver back there. But if you look at this package, it looks like there's a diver back there, and he looks kind of like the Hydra Viper. I always thought it was the Hydra Viper, but my friends are telling me that it's just another red diver back there in the back. So I'm gonna go with them. But I love the fact that they did the homage with the tube worm right there, the big tube worm, which is really fun and cool. There's another one on there too. There's like 2 or 3 of them actually. There's one way as well, like there, right there. What else? I'm trying to see if there's any other callbacks. There's a couple of callouts on the package here for the figures as well. But that's about all. And then on the front, we have, of course, the call out to the mass device there. And then up on the top, it says G.I. Joe Divers versus Cobra Divers. And all their loadout and gear and equipment. So I'm guessing that both of these are basically the torpedo body. They just redecoed it and gave it a bunch of new heads. Let's see. Ultra Mensch, question for everyone. Am I better off purchasing the Striker or the Action Force Vanguard? They're both currently the same price. Well, it depends on if you're all-in classified collector or not, Ultra Mensch. If you are, then you have to have the Striker and you have to have everything that's classified. But if you're not all-in and you don't care about the FOMO for classified and the numbering and all that, then you can buy whatever you want, and whatever fits your toy buying habits and play pattern, then do what you feel is right. And so there you go. So we're going to pull these guys out of here. I like the fact that they're doing a Cobra versus Joe. I like it when they do that because it gives us a little bit better of a play pattern, because you have 2 characters that can go against each other. So inside the package, we have the Legal and Gobbledygook and Indicia. Stick that back in there for now. And then we have the Joe versus Cobra. Again, this is the second Joe versus Cobra 2-pack we've gotten. The last 2-pack we got was the Steel Corps Commander and the Twilight Guard. Now we got the red and ketchup and mustard divers. So then we have the flippers. We got to take the flippers off the package here first. We'll get them out there. And these are the same ones as torpedoes. So they reused that mold a couple of times with this set there. And then we'll put that back in the package. It's got the Cobra and the Joe and DCs on there. Sigils. There. We'll put that back there. Like that. So then we have all the flippers, the red flippers for the Cobra, and then the yellow flippers for the Joe. I'm wondering if they would do another one of these 2-packs with a female body, because I know Scarlet and I know Baroness were divers. Let's see. Don't get me wrong, Undertow is cool, and Hydra Viper, as well as version 2 Shipwreck in his stinky diver suit. Yeah, they're pretty good. There's nothing wrong with any of those, I don't think. I need to know what the better product is at that price. I would probably say the better one is probably the Vanguard at the price, in my opinion. I haven't opened my Striker up, but I'm going to be opening it. It's coming very shortly, and I would say the Vanguard is probably better for the price. So there you go. What's cracking, y'all? Hey, Gunpowder Nitro. Not much. Just going over some divers and then some news. All right, let's go with the Joe diver first. These guys are, man, are they loaded. They got tons and tons of stuff with these. Everybody saying hello to everybody in the chat. Classified needs version 2 shipwreck in his diver suit. Yeah, I bet we'll get that. I bet anybody that's like in a diver's suit or a version 2 of a diver, we're going to eventually get it. So we'll get Shipwreck in his diving suit. We'll probably get him in his longshoreman outfit. We'll probably get female divers set with Baroness and Scarlet. We'll probably get wetsuit version 2. We'll probably get undertow. All that water stuff is probably coming next year, I would guess. If the hydrofoil is the HasLab, we're going to be getting tons of water next year, tons of it to go along with it. You better believe that. So hang on for those. Thanks, Dave. I really like them both. Hey, no problem. I'm sure whenever they get around to doing Moray, they'll do some female divers too. Yeah, definitely. Yep. Right on that. Right on money on that. Ultramensch, you'll get more out of the Vanguard for figure interaction. Both vehicles have issues, but I feel like the Vanguard will be the harder to find than the Ostriker in months to come. That's a very good point, Crusty Crow. I think he's right on that, Ultramensch. At this point, all I want is Flash and Grandslane. I wish they would give them up already. Yeah, they're really holding off on those two, aren't they? They're really holding off. I thought for sure we were going to get Flash in this next 5-figure wave, and it wasn't. He wasn't in there. We got a Flash with Super 7, which was a little out of left field. I did not expect that. Yeah. Ultramensch says thank you. So basically, this is the torpedo buck. It has the G.I. Joe sigil on the front of the costume there, the stars and stripes. You can see there, and it's all black and yellow with some light gray deco hits and stuff like that. And this has got an African head on it, but there's also a Caucasian head as well. So there you go. I'm thinking my light is a little too bright. There, I'm going to move that a little over to there. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you guys to see now. So yeah, he's all right. I'm going to put him over here for now, and then we'll get the Cobra one out. The Cobra one I like a little bit more because I like the red and the black deco a little bit better than the yellow. But, you know, it is what it is. So this is like the guy that becomes the eel, and then the eel becomes the Hydra Viper. So then you've got like a lineage of Cobra troopers that you can do as divers. You can do the different ranks. Like he's the jobber, and then you got the eel, then you got the eel commander, and then you got the Hydra Viper, and you have it all the ways up. The fun thing I like about these, and I liked about the torpedo, was they have these little two computer little tablets on the sides of their arms that have a little deco in it, little computer diagnostic decos in them, which are really neat. And of course, the diver is going to have the Cobra sigil and not the Joe Stars and Stripes. And he also has the gray highlights on him. So it's red, gray, and black. So we got these two divers and their fins. And then we have the element. Where did it go? There it is. The water element, blue. It's a little, my lighting is weird today, but it's a blue element in there. So we'll put that over there for now. The third in the elements. Let's see. I'm stoked. Should get 3 of my Walmart retros today. Oh, you're getting your retros today, Gunpowder Retro? I'm supposed to be getting my mainline 5-figure wave. All my figures have shipped over the weekend, so I don't know when they're going to be here this week sometime, but all 5 of those figures shipped. I was a little astonished. I thought I was going to get my retro figures first, but they shipped my mainline wave first. I don't know. A friend of mine gave me a great deal on 3 carded figures. Oh, Gunpowder Nitro. Wonder who that was. That's interesting. Um, oh, you're talking about me. Oh, I'm sorry, Gunpowder. I was thinking, who was that? It was me, and you were talking about old retro figures, not new retro figures. You can tell I'm completely oblivious, Gunpowder Nitro, to everything that you were trying to say. I totally missed out on all that. But I'm very happy. I hope they should arrive, hopefully, in really good condition and stuff like. If there's any issues, just let me know, and we'll try to fix them. So then you get the Joe rifle, the typical snow job Joe rifle with some yellow deco on it there. And then I'll put that over there. And then you have this futuristic Cobra laser for the diver. The Cobra diver, I should say, the ketchup diver laser. And then we have a little bitty blue element for underwater, and it has some red deco on it. Really cool laser with some nice detail. I think we've seen that laser before. So then we're going to get the alternate heads. We get the red and the yellow alternate heads, and they switched the different ethnicities on this. So one is Caucasian, one is African American. So then you can do the different version of the heads. Let's see. This is the yellow one there, and then there's the red one there. So they put 2 different heads there. Let's see. I do wish this pack had come with some head swaps of main characters. I understand pricing out the line plan, but would have been nice. Yeah, I think that's a good point. They need to make underwater bots. Yeah, I think that's an interesting point, 610 Yojo Daddy. I think maybe if you don't have them, if you have them with their water gear and stuff like that, you could probably switch out some heads to characters like Beachhead, or not Beachhead, Shipwreck. You could probably put Shipwreck's head with this on top of it, and maybe put him on that body. Maybe I'm trying to think of who else. Maybe Duke, maybe a Flint head. I think you could probably do some of the characters that have normal regular heads. You can put the rebreather over their heads, because this is flexible and it's adjustable. So I think maybe some of those characters, you wouldn't obviously be able to do it the covering over their heads because it's blocked. It covers the whole head, but it's a possibility you could do it with the air breather parts. I don't know. So there's the air breather for the Joe one, and then there's an air breather for the Cobra one. And I think maybe you could do it for Cobra too. You could probably put a Destro head on this diver underneath it, and then you could use the rebreather. I don't know. It depends. I guess you would have to fool around with it a little bit to see if it would be workable or viable. They need to make underwater bots. Yep. Well, they kind of do have underwater bots. They have these like little vehicle things, right? They're kind of mechanical little vehicle things, and there's a little cool deco on that with computer gauges and all kinds of technology in these little tampos and stuff that are on there. So it's kind of like a little water bot, kind of. Depends on how you play, how your play pattern is. You know, Torpedo came with something as well. Wetsuit came with something as well. They both come with backpacks, water backpacks, and they both have the Joe and Cobra logos on those there. You can't really see the Joe logo that well. All the yellow is very hard on this lighting there. So they both have backpacks. The backpacks are identical. They're the wetsuit backpack. So then we have some more lasers. Let's see. We have another underwater gun. So if he gets onto land, he'll have something with some yellow deco there. And then the Cobra has another gun as well. And his has got I don't know if we've seen this gun, have we? That looks like a new gun. Maybe 610, you can tell me or not if that's new. Has a little bit of blue deco in the front for the laser, and then the red for the Cobra. But it looks really cool. I like that gun a lot. There's a lot of really nice detail in it. Put that over there. And then we have typical harpoon guns that come with these guys as well. The Joe one has a like a cloth taupe rope on it, a taupe rope, and it has a silver deco on the spear there for his spear gun. There, put that over there. And then the Cobra one has a Cobra rope. Has a Cobra rope with some silver deco as well. So we got one for each Cobra and Joe. And then we have another gun. This thing is so loaded. I didn't realize this had that many guns. But man, there are a lot of guns with this. Here's another gun. This one looks like it's that smaller gun that was a Joe gun, but it's all black this time. So I guess it's for Cobra. So you get a Joe and a Cobra version of it. The same gun. Let's see. Underwater bats. I'm sure we'll get an underwater bat at some point. They keep making bats. That's one of those things they're going to keep making forever and ever and ever. Classified needs the swamp viper. Oh yeah, that is a cool figure actually, the swamp viper. I like that one. I recently got a Cobra his tank. Wow, Terrence Childs, good for you. The classified HasLab his tank. Wow, good for you. Did you get all the tiers and everything included? That's original classified Duke's gun, Dave. Oh, it is? Okay. I wasn't aware of that. Thank you very much, 610 Yojo Daddy. I passed on the ketchup and mustard. I much prefer mayonnaise. Ah, funny. Ultra Mensch. I like the fact that they play around with this stuff. Like when they did the Dragonfly, they did some of the weapons systems, and they called it like salsa, chips and salsa. And then when they did something else, they called it some other thing. I like it when they give it those type names and that fun stuff like that, because it goes to show they're trying to have fun with this. And this is toys. Yeah, it's a business, and it's they have to make money and everything, but it's toys. It's supposed to be fun. If you're not enjoying this, then you're in the wrong business, because that's what toys is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about having fun. All right, I got everything out of the accessories tray, so I'm going to put that over there. So there's a little dagger for each of them. The ketchup and mustard. There's a dagger for both of them. There's a red and yellow dagger with black deco on it. So we'll put them there. And then we also got two machetes. This machete is going to be getting a lot of use, because there's a couple of characters coming up that are also going to have that machete. So we got all the accessories out of there. How many AK-47 do you have in there? Which one is the AK-47? Is that this? The G.I. Joe rifle? There's only one. Or are you talking about these Cobra and Joe guns? I'm not sure. If you're talking about these as two, but that's it for those. Let's see. They sure made 18,000 Sky Strikers, and Hasbro didn't give us our ketchup and mustard. They just sold the rest after, but they did have over 18,000 made, and they fell out. So why are my figures You left that open with a question mark there, GI Joe 66 Delta 17. Sorry, I don't know. The Hiss Volume 2 is a pretty good tank. Yeah, the Hiss Volume 2 is. For the vintage line, yeah, it is. It's a really cool upgrade. I wonder if we'll ever get that. That's going to be an interesting one. I actually appreciate it when reuse is done exactly, resulting in an awesome figure. Yeah, it is. It is a good idea. You're right, and I like that. Terrence, the Hiss 2 is still one of my favorites. Yep, it's a really cool one. I know it's my friend Jason's favorite. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Same Time Toys. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I hope you got enough rest last night. I didn't keep you out too late. Good morning, Ultraman. Yeah, these are not AK. Those are not AK-47s. Okay, I didn't think they were, but I wasn't sure. All right, let's put these guys together. First off, we're going to put their backpacks on. Let's see. We'll start with the Cobra backpack, and we'll go from there. Let's see. So you got to go through the secondary. There's a little bitty secondary harness on there. You got to go through that to get to the peg hole in the back. So you got to make sure that they line up in order to go through there. Let's see. So it's tricky with these secondaries. There. All right, I think I got it on there. And then you have the rebreather. The Cobra rebreather is there. So I'm going to put that over the head there. And we're going to plug in the little doodads to the side of the backpack. So I think you could redo some of these heads, I think, if you really, really wanted to go to town on that. So there's that. And then I'm going to put his dagger in the side. He's got a little dagger here, holster sheath on his right leg. So I'm going to put that in there. There. I got that in there. He's got another sheath that's for his machete. It's on the left side. So I'm going to put his machete in there. If I can. There. So he's got a machete in there. That's for chopping the worms up, I guess. So there, you got the machete there. And he's got a holster and a secondary, both on that side as well. So then he has his gun. So we're going to use this laser gun. I'm going to use this big laser gun on this hand there. And then I'm going to put his fins on him there. I like these fins because they don't have peg hooks. They have like little gripper things, so it stays on a little tighter. So I kind of like that about the fins, because a lot of time the peg hooks don't hold very tight, but the grippers do because it slides in. Let's see. There. So there. And the good thing about the divers is you can move the heads up a little bit. I wish certain figures had a better curvature of the head so it could look up or do what it needs to do, but there's just not enough of a ball joint in there for it to go back all the way. But it looks pretty good, I think. I'm going to give him his little vehicle and see if he'll be able to hold that. And then we will be good, I think, on him. Let's see. His little thing has a Cobra sigil on both sides as well. His little propeller vehicle. So there you go. There's your Cobra eel or your Cobra red ketchup diver, whatever you want to call him. It's pretty good looking. I like the he's got all the I will say all of these articulation points for these figures are as follows. They have the butterflied shoulders, the double pinned elbows, the double pinned knees, the foot rocker, the thigh and calf articulation, the wrist articulation with a little extra swivel, the ab crunch, the head articulation, and the crotch and the leg articulation. For both of these figures, they're identical articulations. So I'm going to just stick him over here for now until I can put them on a display. I'm going to work on the Mustard Joe character. Let's see. I missed a lot of comments. I'm sorry. The Cobra officer has the AK-47. Yeah, so I must have 4 or 5 of those at least with all my different troopers. My Cobra troopers, gunpowder nitro on the AK-47. I must have 5 or 6 of them. I don't know exactly though, because they did retro carded and Python Patrol and this. And so there's a bunch of different variants. There's 788 fire team ones as well. The pre-orders are soon, correct, by the way? Great to see you again. Hey, Jason Atreides, nice to see you again. Thanks for joining the chat this morning. Yeah, they'll go up at for Pulse Premium members at 1 o'clock today. And Target, if you have something at Target, an account with Target, you can try to get Zartan at that point. 66 Delta sounds like you need to send a strongly worded email to Hasbro. Same time toys, yeah. The HasLabs sold over 18,000 because they did another live stream selling out Skystrikers. So they owe us ketchup and mustard figures. I don't know if they owe us anything, but you know, there are people that make those custom figures. You can't find them. If you look around, you can't get them. A friend of mine made some. Jason, pre-orders usually mean the figures are on the boat. There you go. Yep. I will make a video on it in the future. Cool. Look forward to it. Then even more people will demand Hasbro follow its obligations. Yeah, and not rip us off. Well, you know, we're all not forced to buy this. It's our choices to buy this stuff. So we have to look at it from that point of view. We get what we pay for, and that is ultimately it. So if it doesn't have something with it, or it's missing accessories or this or that, we can gripe and moan and complain and stuff like that. But there are places out there you can get the things that you want if Hasbro doesn't give it to you. And if you don't want to purchase what Hasbro is offering, then you don't have to. That's really something to take up with Hasbro. If they said it, they should keep their word. Go after them. Yeah, there you go. If you can prove it and get them to do it, by all means. That red really looks good on that torpedo body. Yeah, it does. I think this is the better of the two. The yellow is a little too bright for my taste. And it's so bright. I already got my ketchup and mustard from Heavy Armored Toys. See, there you go. Someone made a custom and you were able to get what you wanted. There you go. Awesome, my friend. Gus Fielder. Hey, you're a new person in the chat. Thanks for joining us. AK is the gun that came with the Stinger driver. Oh, okay. Interesting. I did not know that. They said if they sold HN, we would get ketchup and mustard, but they lied, as we never got them. I'm not sure. I can't remember that Kickstarter. It's been like 6 years since they did that. 5 years since they did that. The Crimson Guards M16 with bayonet is a good one too. Yeah, it is gunpowder nitro. Yes, the yellow is pretty bad. it's hard to look at it. What's good? Yes, this is my first time. Well, thank you very much. If you wouldn't mind, like, subscribe, hit the notification button for future episodes. We typically go in the mornings most of the week, except during Mondays. We do that in the evenings so I can get guests on to talk to and stuff like that at night. So we do a night episode on Mondays around 7, and then all the other ones are around between 9:30 and 10:30, Tuesday through Friday. We've been going through all the classified figures one by one. We're on 169, and we've done a bunch of the retro carded ones and some of the legacy and 60th anniversary figures as well. So give you a bit of a catch up on what we're doing here on this channel. And then we do comic book bursts, and we do interviews with creators and stuff like that. And we cover the news on here. So we do a lot of stuff on here. So I hope you enjoy, and thank you for joining us in this episode. I appreciate it. I'm having a hard time lining up this backpack to get to this peg hook in there. Man, what a pain in the neck. Let's see. That is not easy to get in there. Let's see. I may have to just put the secondary up and then put this in underneath. I'm not sure. Let's try it the other way. Man, I'm having a hard time getting the Joe backpack in there. Doesn't want to go in. I'm going to have to fiddle with this later, I guess. So I'm going to put a couple of the other things on him first. I'm going to put his knife in his sheath. There. And I'm going to put the bayonet in his other sheath holster on this side. So you can get those at least. So there's that bayonet there, and then there's the knife in that sheath there. Same Time Toys. I wish they had made a head pack to go with the yellow divers, like all the guys in the heavy water episode of Mass. Yeah, that would have been something, building that play pattern and giving us something different to build on this. I agree with you on that. Same Time Toys. Thank you. I will tune in. You're welcome. Appreciate it. Same Time Toys. Gus, you found one of the most positive Joe channels out here. You'll have a blast here. Hey, thank you very much, Same Time Toys. I really appreciate you saying that. And Gus says thank you as well. That means a lot to me because I do try to stay positive as much as I possibly can. Obviously, there's some negative things going on in the industry, the toy industry with Hasbro and stuff, that we do cover those news elements. So we do get into a little bit of negative. I try to keep it to a minimum. Sitting outside court to go in to try to get my ex-wife to start paying child support. Finally. Oh my God. Long day, 610 Yoja Daddy. Well, I wish you all the luck, and you deserve to get that since you're taking care of all three of those kids, 610. Man, that's a rough situation. Ugh. Good luck, man. So I wish you the best on that. Hope it all works out. We're gonna put his diver fins on here. for him because I can't seem to get his backpack on. So we're gonna do something different with this guy. I might give him the element, the mass element, since the Joes had to try to defeat Cobra with that. So I might do him differently. And then let's see, we'll give him. I'm gonna give him this weird laser gun instead. There. And then let's see, I'll give him his rebreather. There. It's gonna look a little weird because I don't have the backpack to connect the rebreather to. Because like I'm having such a difficult time with this, getting this in there. Um, let's fool around with it a little bit more. I'll see what I can do with it, but I'm having a hard time trying to line that all up. Yeah. Just doesn't want to go in. I may have to try to maybe heat it up or something. Sometimes heating up these things, it makes them a little bit more flexible. Yeah, he doesn't want to go in the back. So we'll just have to hold off on that. But I can give him his harpoon at least. The harpoon gun has those little straps, so you put them around the arms, and then they can keep them when they're just floating in the water, which I kind of like because then you never lose the accessory if you're playing with them or whatever, because they'll always be on the figure that way, which is kind of cool. A little element play pattern to this for the kids. If they're putting them in their bathtubs and so on and so forth, I don't know. Classified's a little expensive to stick in your bathtub, but if you're buying this stuff for kids, then that's good for that. Except I'm having a hard time. This figure is very difficult to get stuff on it. It really is. All right, finally, I got his harpoon gun on. I'm going to put his rebreather back on that fell off while I was struggling with that. There. All right, so we have a Joe diver. Let's see. Let's see. So, you want Shipwreck version 2 and you want Undertow Destro's Diver. And what else do you want for classified Zendar? Dave, Gus, Extend, Shane, Chat, Evil Dookie, good morning. Thanks for joining us again. Yes, Gus, I agree. It's one of the most positive channels around. Thank you, 610 Yojo Daddy. I appreciate that. It really means a lot. Dookie, what's up, homie? Thank you. Evil Dookie, my dude. Everybody's saying hello. Shane, staring a new custom stinger today. Uh, cool. Very cool. Please grab an original Storm Shadow favorite character growing up. Lucas Shelton. 610, what's up, homie? Lucas Shelton, are you a new person in the chat? If so, please like, share, subscribe, help out the algorithm for us. Thank you very much. You can put it in boiled water for 30 seconds or longer if it is not going in. Thank you very much, G.I.Joe 66 Delta. Appreciate that, Delta 17. So you did find one on sale. No, I got a commission, Shane. It's believing delivered today. It's being delivered today. Everybody's talking to each other in the chat, so I'm not sure what's going on. Dude, that's awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, man, I was surprised. These divers look great on flying stands. Yeah, I want to get some flying stands for that. Dave is the encyclopedia of Joes to me. Great knowledge. Thank you very much, Evil Dookie. That means a lot to me. I do my best. I do my best. I don't know everything. I'll admit I don't know everything, but I definitely try my best, and I put forth my best effort to give you guys as much information and knowledge as I can on everything classified and original, vintage, and in between as well. Definitely Hasbro has to make an original Storm Shadow. Just get let you know. They've done 2 original Storm Shadows. Technically, G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17. There was a retro packaged one and a regular one. They're slightly different decos, but either of those would be perfectly fine for a original Storm Shadow figure based on the original one from the vintage era. Either of those Storm Shadows are perfectly fine for that. So there you go. There's your Cobra. There's your Joe Diver. I'll get it. No, I'll get it. Arr! So, like a lot of these multi-packs, there's a lot of extra gear and a lot of extra accessories. So I have 2 extra heads. I have like 4 guns that I can't use. So they're going to go in parts bin for later. And then I have a backpack that I'm still struggling with to get on this figure. So we'll have to see how this goes. For now, I'm going to put them on. I don't know. I guess they can stand up without the stands. I was going to put them on stands, but I guess they can stand without a stand. Because I've got Torpedo without a stand, and I guess they can stand up pretty good. Let's see. Let's see how they stand. Yeah, they stand pretty good all by themselves. So I'll leave that like that. And I'll give him the blue element. Since I gave that to all my Joes, I'll give him the blue element. So now all my Joes have all the blue, all the mass device elements. Looks like they won the battle. G.I. Joe has. Let's see, G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17. Yo Joe or 3D Joes is a great place to get more info, Dave, if you need more info, but still they are missing something sometimes. Yep, that's true. It's not a complete thing. That's why they ask us volunteers in the community to we can, if we get permission from Carson, to go on 3D Joe's and add to it, because he can't put everything himself. So he does get other people to help him put info on there. You're right. This is a great channel. Last night I told to shut the F up because I like chasing 80s nostalgia, but he wouldn't say it to my face though. But I'm not sure what you're saying there. Gunpowder Nitro, you're right. This is a great channel. I'm not sure what you're trying to say there, but thank you. It sounds like you're trying to be nice. So thank you. Evo Dookie, what's up, bro? Gunpowder Nitro. Damn, dude, that's harsh. Pete, Scuba Pete from Chasing 80s Toys. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Interesting. Oh, it was a big name toy tuber. Ah, I gotcha. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Damn, Gunpowder, just don't watch that channel anymore. There you go. You guys have the choice. It's what is the Captain Power says? You have the power to choose what you do. It's kind of like the Smokey and the Bear type situation. You have the option to not start a fire, so you have the choice to watch whatever you want to watch or don't. People too comfortable insulting others. Yeah, I'm not comfortable doing that. Of course I have issues with people, but I keep it close to the vest and I don't reveal those type of things because it's not anybody's business. And then that's how you stir up stuff, and I don't want to stir stuff up. Yes, great channel. Thank you, Gunpowder Nitro. Watching this from work while the guys are training. Hey, that's fun. uh what are they training to do, Gus Fielder? Oh yeah, He-Man as well. I have the power. Yeah, there you go. There's a lot of that type of stuff, positive energy in the 80s. Your display is cool, bro. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've been working on it for a while. I've got a big gap in the middle there that's going to get a rattler as soon as I get to open it, which I'm following the numbers. So we're on 169. So when we get up to the 80s, when we get to the rattler, but that big hole there, that's going to be for the rattler. Gus, make them work for it, Gus. Yay. Oh, football. Okay. Hut, hut, hut. Go along. Um, Here's a little bit of a reference. If you guys know, my name is David Allen, and I was on the Jacksonville Jaguars. See if you can figure out that little tidbit and let me know in the chat who David Allen was. I like telling people that because they look at me like, "What? You were on the Jacksonville Jaguars?" Yeah, I was. I was a tight end on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Um, so there's your divers, pretty much. Uh, what else do we got going on? Okay, so there was some leaked of some file cards yesterday that we got. Pause. Um, Yesterday, and I'm gonna go over some of these file cards that they revealed on some of the new classified figures on their socials. I think it's like Hasbro.com. These are revealed on there. So we're gonna read off some of these file cards if you guys are interested. So there is Airtight, and pretty much I'm gonna kind of describe the new parts in some of these file cards. So there's Airtight, Kurt Schnurr, which is a funny name, Kurt Schnurr, but it is what it is. Obviously, CBR, chemical, biological, and radio biological warfare, secondary specialty ordnance, birthplace, New Haven, Connecticut. So Kurt was the kid who could hold his breath the longest. So this is basically the same vintage card that he came with in the 80s. He was also the kid who had the largest collection of plastic dinosaurs on the block. He was a weird kid who grew up to be an even stranger adult. It takes a muddy, weird person to walk into a cloud of toxic gas strong enough to fell a mutant weightlifter cockroach wearing a protective suit built under contract for the government by the lowest bidder. Airtight is an unreformed practical joker, sneezing powder, plastic barf, whoopee cushions, the whole bit. No prank is too low for him. You'd think the other Joes would hate his guts, but they don't, because when the bad guys escalate the firefight and start playing dirty, it's old Airtight who suits up and wades into the thick of it. That is really cool. I love that. Airtight is one of my favorites from the 80s vintage line. So then we're going to go into Overkill. Now, Overkill, there are some slight differences on his file card. So it says he is the primary specialty battle android trooper commander, second birthplace specialty battlefield tactics, and unknown birthplace. Because his well, I guess it would be the Saw Viper, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Hey, goes Joe 82. Thanks for joining us. Are you a new person in the chat? I appreciate it. If so, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification buttons. Hey, dude stuff, good morning. Are you a coach, Gus? There you go. All right. Overkill began as an experimental prototype, melding a battle android trooper with a human host, a trooper who ran afoul of the Cobra war game training exercise. It just made sense to make him the leader of an entire unit of android troopers, since more than 50% of his body has been replaced by mechanical parts. He is also equipped with integral body armor and a self-contained breathing unit. His vision has been enhanced with image intensifiers and infrared scanners. A targeting computer is hardwired between his night eye and trigger finger. Having command of a small army of mindless robots has affected his mind, along with the PTSD of the procedure, making him overly sentimental and protective of his troops. Overkill sees them as individuals and gives them secret names, picking out some for special attention. That's interesting. That's new for Overkill. They slightly changed his file card from the vintage one from the 90s. And then we have Professor Rockclaw, Crispin Kilgore. Primary specialty is paleontology, genetic engineering. Secondary specialty is Paleo Viper pack leader. Birthplace Johannesburg, South Africa. So this is a completely new character with Rotclaw. Crispin Kilgore grew up a child of privilege, his family's vast wealth granting him every luxury imaginable. But no money could provide this young boy's greatest wish, a real life dinosaur of his very own. His obsession with all things prehistoric drove him to studies combining cutting edge genetic research with paleontology. As his methods began pushing ethical boundaries, he was expelled for unscrupulous conduct and rumored looting of dig sites. Ostracized from any reputable university, he sought out Cobra and Dr. Mindbender as the only organization with the adequate facilities and capital to realize his experiments. Reviving Cobra Dionysus from extinction, Professor Rockclaw now serves as pack leader of Cobra's Paleo Viper forces, pairing the troopers with his creations, which they attempt to wrangle and direct against enemies of Cobra with mixed results. Professor Rockclaw has no real allegiance to or belief in the ideals of Cobra. He's served anyone who helps him pay for to help him play with his toys. See, airtight. Yep. He's a good one. Let's see. Yes, everything explained on my page. I hope you all get a chance to check it out. Lots of G.I. Joe videos and fun streams coming soon. Cool, Gunfielder. Appreciate that. Gus, that custom of you is sick. Funny. All right. So then we have the Hydra Viper, which I think they kept the Hydra Viper pretty much the same. Says Hydra Viper various. Primary specialty underwater demolition. Secondary specialty marine engineering. Birthplace various. with no restrictions and no no restrictions on experimentation and no lack of volunteers, Dr. Mindmender and the Professor Rockclaw have improved somewhat upon Cobra's past attempts to create a squadron of amphibious commandos able to breathe both air and water. Hydra Vipers are qualified Cobra eels, combat divers, surgically altered to withstand nitrogen narcosis and other side effects of deep diving, making them elite underwater troopers. Synthetic webs are implanted between their fingers, and subcutaneous fat production is stimulated by chemical injections to provide natural insulation. Despite the successful conversion process, the long term effect of these procedures is known to be psychologically destabilizing. And it says, I'm sorry those guys aren't human anymore. I realize they're virtually unbeatable in underwater combat, but so is a great white shark, and I'll bet the shark is friendlier. That was a psychological comment on him. So then we have the Mole Rat Stage 2. And the Mole Rat Stage 2 is interesting as well. Various primary specialty, mineral extraction, secondary specialty, geology, and birthplace various. While Cobra headhunts top scientists and researchers from across the globe, less qualified recruits wind up as mole rats. Quarriers and miners seeking new energy sources to power Cobra's war machine. Largely viewed as Cobra's scientific cannon fodder, mole rats are equipped with rudimentary hazmat suits and breathing apparatuses, as well as sensors, collection containers, and portable drilling gear. Extracted deposits of volatile dark energon has sparked certain troopers to become mindless husks bent on destroying anything in their path. Prolonged exposure has only aggravated the symptoms of the infection, advancing it to stage 2, compounding their mutation and degeneration. A whole crew of 20 went down into that mine, and only a handful came out, some lumbering or shuffling, some dragging themselves along the ground, and none of them whole. Very cool. I love that. And then we have Sundown, completely new character for the G.I. Joe classified line. Um, Sundown is Alejandro Belam Luna Mendoza. So he's Latino. He's a bounty hunter. Specialty primary specialty is bounty hunter. Secondary specialty is tracker. Birthplace Zopala, Mexico. So let's read his a little. It says Alejandro Balam Luna Mendoza and his twin brother, which I love. He's a twin because I love twins. Salvador Roman overcame numerous challenges in Sao Paulo after drug kingpin Headman and the Lords of the Underworld cartel killed their professional ball player father before they were even born. Raised by their mother in the home of their grandparents, they grew out among the mountains and trees, hunting birds. Although, let's see. Although both vowed to take down those ruled by greed and pride, each brother chose a different path in this quest. Sundown has honed his skills serving in the Fuerza lawyer as a Fuerza lawyer and politician bent on rooting out corruption in local government. Salvador quickly ran afoul of Headman, who kidnapped him. Now Sundown uses his skills and natural tracking abilities as a bounty hunter. Allied with G.I. Joe, Sundown stalks his quarry through the darkened streets arid deserts, crossroads, and dense jungles of his homeland, seeking justice and looking for evidence of his brother. Um, Intent on taking down Headman and the other heads of the lords of the underworld before he and his brother Jose lose theirs. He is relentless in his pursuit. Now, the lords of I find that really interesting. The lords of the underworld. I wonder if we're going to get more of that story element in Classified. That's one of the things that I've enjoyed about Classified. These stories that they kind of seed through the GI Joe classified line, and they're really cool. Some really cool stuff. Um, let's see. Dang, now that name Alejandro Balalava Pelosa. Wow, it's a really cool name. Yeah. Sometime Toys, appreciate you for that. Thank you. So Headman sounds like he is a cartel leader. Yeah, he's part of the Lords of the Underworld, I guess. I guess we're going to see more Worlds of the Underworld, and we'll see how that all plays out. Kind of like Cobra La's played out over the last couple of years. Now we're going to start seeing the Lords of the Underworld and Headman and his troopers and stuff like that play out, going along with this Sundown new character. So now we've got the Cobra La Royal Guard. So it says, let the web of remembrance tell the tale. Bred and surgically enhanced. Let's go back this way. Enhanced for size, strengthen, and endurance, the Royal Guards of Cobra La are responsible for the personal protection of Globulus, supreme leader of the Hidden Valley and last descendant of the Serpent Kings, encased from the head. Encased from head to foot in bioorganic armor, Cobra La Royal Guard are impervious to any ordnance up to a high explosive anti-tank round. Although formidable in battle, the guards tend to be tactically unimaginative and are relatively useless without close supervision. Uh, there there was an attempted coup in Cobra La around the time when the Emperor's Hadrian was building his wall. 500 irate noblemen stormed the inner sanctum of Cobra La Summer Palace and were confronted by 20 royal guards. Globulus slept through the entire incident. One guard was slightly wounded. Of the 500 noblemen, there were no survivors. Well, that's pretty gruesome there. Really cool, though, I must say. And then, of course, we have um, Don Marino, Snake Eyes, the female Snake Eyes. Primary specialty, covert operations, ninjutsu. Secondary specialty, infantry. Birthplace, Springfield, USA. So that's a little bit vague because there's basically a Springfield in every state across the nation, I would say. Yep, Evil Dookie. Yeah, Headman's coming. Lenny's pretty much confirmed that he's on the way. Um, I would love to have all the Cobra La stuff, but unfortunately, I missed the window for the previous characters. Oh, I'm sure you'll be able to go to some conventions. I'm sure you can get some of that stuff. Um, so here's Don Moreno, Springfield High School student. Don Moreno caught the attention of Cobra Commander after successfully beating the entire lacrosse team by herself. Quickly providing herself invaluable, he made her his apprentice under the tutelage of Baroness. Dawn was strapped into the brainwave scanner and mistakenly implanted with the stored memories of Snake Eyes, a highly conditioned and athletic teenager now possessed the knowledge of an Arashikage ninja and seasoned combat veteran. Um, let's see, confused by the flurry of new memories, she sought the legendary Onahashi sword, Morning Light, in New York, and Obasa, Obasan, who completed her ninja training in Tokyo. Eventually, she learned to achieve peace between her own psyche and that of Snake Eyes, embracing her new calling as a member of the Joe team. Rescued as a teen from a bleak life in Cobra, honed into a ninja master, inherited Snake Eyes memories via brainwave scanner. Stealthy, speedy, deadly. You'd better believe Dawn's a Joe. Yep, there you go. So those are all the new file cards that were released yesterday, and so they're really cool. These file cards that they do, they only release them like periodically through their socials and through Hasbro.com. So you can go back and probably watch or look for some of those other ones. There's probably what, like 20 or 30 of them that they've released over the years. Not nearly as many characters and figures and items, but there are a bunch that they have released over the last couple of years that are pretty cool if you're interested in that sort of stuff. Nemesis Immortal runs around $150 on eBay now. Wow, I'm shocked at that. Gunpowder, yikes. I would think that you could probably still get Pythona. I think she was up on the Pulse website not too long ago. Still, play the long game. By next year, he will be opened for 30. There you go. Smart. Ghost Joe. So our next item is another legacy and 60th figure, and it's probably one of the best ones that they've done thus far, in my opinion, because of the troop builder aspect of it and the coolness factor and the fact that it can be used in other brands and not just G.I. Joe. That's going to be our next figure that we're going to go into. I'm really looking forward to that. I've been waiting for that one for a while to get to it. 2025 had so many great items and figures to go through, and it's like every other figure is like my favorite figure. It's unbelievable, but I'm very happy about that. So then we have the Synthflow Joe Show, which is my G.I. Joe convention. It's coming up in April 19th in Deltona, Central Florida. So if you're in the southern Georgia area, southern Alabama area, anywhere in the Florida area, and you would like to go to a really cool G.I. Joe event, we're going to have Mark Pennington, designer, comic book artist, and G.I. Joe creator in the vintage era from 87 to 89. He's our primary guest. We're also going to have package designer and comic book cover artist Adam Riches, another designer, toy designer from Strike Force Alpha, and painter Matt LaCroix, another comic book artist, Jason Mark Sobel, comic book company and editor Hawk Saunders with Rising Sun Publishing, another author, Roger Taft with After Action Report Publishing is also going to be there. We also have the Finest Costume Organization will also be in attendance at the convention if you want to come in costume. And there'll be tons and tons of vintage toys to buy and all kinds of stuff from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and some classified stuff from modern era, I would say as well. Brands like Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Thundercats, Silverhawks, Mask, you name it, they'll be there. So it's one of the best opportunities you can go to in Florida, because we also have Disney. We also have Universal Epic Lands. We also have beautiful beaches. And towards the end of April, it's going to be a beautiful time for spring break. So come on down for that. Or if you just want to see a SpaceX launch, you can go to Cape Canaveral. There's so much stuff to do in Florida. And on your day off, come to the G.I. Joe Sunflower Joe show and enjoy yourself and buy some G.I. Joes and have a good time. So I hope to see you all there. I look forward to the show. It's going to be our first show, so we want it to be a very successful show so we can do more in the future and build this up to a really nice event every year and expand and grow the show out. So we need the first one to be successful. So if you're able to make it, please come. If you know any friends or family that are in the Florida, Southern Georgia, Southern Alabama area, and they're able to make it, let them know about the show. I'm trying to advertise as far and wide as I can. And I would appreciate if you guys share that as well. And that's the number one thing you can do to help us grow the show and for our YouTube channel as well. I appreciate everybody in the chat today for joining me, and I appreciate everybody after the fact on the replay crew that comments and adds to the conversation as well. You guys make this channel the positive place that it is, and I hope we keep it that way for the future. And I really appreciate everything that you guys have done for the show, and you will in the future joining us. So if you haven't, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, and share these videos. That's the number one thing you can do to help this channel grow and help the algorithm notice us. We're on our way to 250 subs, and we're on our way to 300 episodes of this channel. So I really appreciate everything that you guys have done. A great show, good chat. Y'all have a good day. Thank you, Gunpowder Nitro. As always, you're awesome, and I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy those figures, and let me know if there's any issues with them. This is kind of a mixed video because it's a Joe and a Cobra video. Great show, as always. See you guys in the chat. Thank you, Same Time Toys. Appreciate it. And I want to say, if you guys haven't had an opportunity to go and watch my episode last night, that was a Toy Fair 2026 review of all the classified reviews with Same Time Toys joining me. And that was a really fun episode. We had a really good time. Thank you very much, G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17. I appreciate it. Like I said, this is a Joe and a Cobra video, so we're just going to go with Yo Joe and Hail Cobra. See you guys next time. Appreciate it.